51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. But guys, we were done dirty by Ferrari. For those of you guys that didn't know, we joined the Junior Ferrari program in the start of our F1 2019 career mode when we were still in F2. But guys, Ferrari refused to give me a good contract. They completely did me dirty and told me because they have got Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, probably the two strongest AIs on the grid, that they were not going to give us a good contract. And so I made a deal with Ferrari. I told them, okay, I'm still part of the Ferrari Junior program, but for one season, I'm a lone unit. And if Max Verstappen or Charles Leclerc does not win the Drivers' Championship for Season 3, I am guaranteed a seat in Ferrari, and they gave me the thumbs up. So guys, Season 3, we are on a lone unit. We're jumping into a back marker car, but it's got to be a fun one. We are now the latest team member of McLaren. And guys, I'm so looking forward to this, but there's only one problem. We're either going to have the worst teammate on the grid, meaning Lance Stroll.
Everyone's happy with that proposal and we're locked in. From the next race weekend, you'll officially be racing for a new team, so you better start getting ready for the move.
Oh yeah, you drop a like down below. We're part of the Papaya Orange and Blue McLaren team. Guys, yeah. We're either going to have Lance Stroll, the worst AI on the grid, or our former F2 rival, Devin Butler, alongside us in the McLaren. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Guys, choosing a new rival, who other than Lewis Hamilton, just to start the season off with a bang and to get ourselves ready for the next season. Final emails from Rich Energy Horse Racing, but guys, let's head straight into Season 3, and I got a little bit of a surprise for you. Please enjoy the new intro, and baby, we're at McLaren!
Ready to get another season started. Let's try and improve on last year.
Oh yeah! Guys, hello Zach Brown. We are part of your team now. Guys, I actually want to see if I can do what my role model in life, Fernando Alonso, could not do. Maybe it's going to be a hard thing to do in just one season, but let's see if we can take this McLaren team to new heights. We have actually got 2 upgrades fitted to the car that Stroll and Devin Butler did the previous season. But as you guys already saw, Devin Butler is our teammate. That is the driver moves, guys. Carlos Sainz has been given my championship-winning Rich Energy Horse Racing car. Stroll has been let go, and now I am alongside my former Formula 2 rival, Devin Butler. So I am really excited for this, and I think we two are going to have an inner team rivalry that speaks volumes of its own. Looking at the performance chart, the performance index, guys, we do not have a very bad engine. There's a lot of that, not much that can still be done to the engine before the engine's maxed out. But then we get to this. The chassis and the aero is absolutely horrendous. That is stuff I'm going to work on very quickly in this McLaren car. We are the second worst in aerodynamics, so that's a big no-no in my books. We really have to work hard on that, and we've got a lot of work to do with this McLaren car. But guys, now, so you guys see the engine, it's not too bad. We are the 6th best car in engine, and we're not far behind the other teams. So the engine is something that will really quickly start getting us going again. Now, looking at the performance chart, guys, it is Racing Point, like I said in Season 2, who have started Season 3 with a vengeance. Lucas Weber v Sergio Perez, championship fight. I'm calling it now, and I'm going with Sergio Perez. Even though Lucas Weber is my former F2 teammate, I'm in the Sergio Perez boat. Then we've got Rich Energy Horse Racing in 2nd place, my former team. Red Bull P3, Williams P4, Ferrari, Mercedes, and Renault are neck and neck for P5, 6, and 7. Then it's Alfa Romeo P8. We in McLaren on P9, and Scuderia Toro Rosso are still the back markers. Guys, heading into practice. Guys, look! We've got the number 1 on our car to tell everybody that we are the defending world champion. You guys can see I really pushed hard in practice. You guys are now going to see my first ever flying lap in this McLaren in practice 1. Not on the soft tires, we are actually on the hard tires. But guys, one thing I have to say, I had so much confidence in this car, it's not even funny. Like, I mean, this car is just planted. And yes, I know it's slower than the Haas. I know it is. But guys, it's so much more stable and so much more fun to drive. I think this car is a brilliant base to build off of to get this car to the front of the grid come the end of the season. My goal for this season, even though it's a backmarker car, I'm going to throw myself in the deep side, and I want to be in at least 10th position in the championship. If stuff really goes good, I'm going to go for P7 because obviously the top 3 teams, Haas, Red Bull and Racing Point, they are going to be the cars to beat. But I think I can beat Roman Grosjean. You guys saw when I was at Haas, he's really not a very good teammate. So I think I can beat Grosjean. But when it comes to Red Bull, Racing Point and the second Haas driver now, the man that took my place, Carlos Sainz, that's going to be a tough one. So I believe we can go for P6, P7, but my main goal is I want to finish in between P6 to P10. Like you guys heard in the beginning of the video, if Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc do not win the Drivers' World Championship for Ferrari...
That lap time puts you into P4, 4th place. Okay, we can take you this lap.
Thank you, Jeff. We are guaranteed a seat at Ferrari, but... Maybe I don't want to go to Ferrari at the end of the season because at this stage I love this car. But guys, no matter where I end up this season, we have a seat at Ferrari next season if Max and Charles fail. So we are sitting in the driver's seat. But without further ado, let's head to qualifying, yeah!
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. The competition is certainly heating up as we head into today's qualifying. Some impressive times showing up during the previous practice sessions. Anthony Davidson, do you think we can expect a similar level of skill to be showcased during today's qualifier?
Well, I certainly hope so. The competition here is extremely tight, and I think we might see some very close times today. Remember, practice isn't just about fastest lap times though, it's about optimization, it's about ratifying your decisions. No one's going to be sweating small mistakes here and there, but in qualifying that all changes. You need to nail that perfect lap or face the consequences, and believe me, that's a lot of pressure.
Guys, jumping straight to the end of Q1, let's go around this beautiful Melbourne circuit. In our brand new McLaren, guys. This is the final run I had in Q1. You guys can see I'm super aggressive in this McLaren. I've just got so much confidence in this car. It really does what you ask of it. The Haas, sometimes you had to wrestle it around the track, which I didn't enjoy. This car just feels absolutely amazing to drive. And as you guys see, qualifying is now complete. We are in P18. Like I said, it's a backmarker car. We are the second worst team on the grid according to paper. So we're really going to have to thread the needle with this car if we want to get this car into Q2. For the first half of the season, that's my goal, just getting this car into Q2. And then for the second half of the season, after Hungary, from Spa, I want to see if we can get this McLaren into Q3. That would be the ultimate swan song. But you guys know anything and everything can happen in this game. And we really have to work very sufficiently. And hopefully, myself and Devin Butler can coexist as teammates. I can't believe my former F2 rival is my teammate. But guys, the inner team rivalry is gonna be epic. Oh, and just to show Devin Butler up, who's been at McLaren for now more than a season, for 1.5 seasons, I want to show him up for my first time in qualifying. I want to beat him. We come across the line for the end of Q1, and we are in P! Woo! P14! P14, P14, P14. We are through to Q2. We are through to Q2. Hey! Oh yeah, we are through to Q2. We are through to Q2. Okay, we beat Alpha, which is the team above us, which is good. Kimi Räikkönen is in Q2, but we beat Giovinazzi, which is thumbs up from my side. Heading to the end of our first run in Q2, guys. Not a good, well, a good lap, but on worn tires, 1.4 seconds off of the pace from Sergio Perez, which is quite large. The gap between the whole grid this second season is larger than of this third season.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 19.6.
Thank you, Jeff. Let me just quickly repeat that. The gap in between the entire grid for Season 3...
Standing by.
Thank you, Jeff. Once again, I thought you were going to say more. Is more than it was in Season 2. The whole grid was much closer in Season 2, so the racing was very intense. But there's a clear difference between the top 3 teams and the rest of the grid, guys. There's no really midfield. There's no back markers. Even though Toro Rosso seem like they are the back markers, there really is no back markers. It's just front runners, midfield. Who has the best race weekend is the ones that are going to get the best points, basically. So yeah, heading here onto the end of our final run in Q2, guys. I don't think this car has the pace, but have we put the lap together to get this car up into Q3, open up DRS as we head down the main straight for the final time, and we are now in P! Oh, that's so close! Oh my goodness, guys. Just a little bit more than a tenth away from Carlos Sainz and P10, who's driving my World Championship winning car of Season 2. That is so close! Oh! Okay, but still, great first qualifying, and we beat Butler. So that's great.
Well done. Very solid result. You're looking good for the race.
I'm not gonna deny that, Emma. We are looking good for the race. P11, open strategy with the tires, so anything and everything can happen in this race. So guys, without further ado, let's get Season 3 underway properly, and let's head straight to the Australian Grand Prix. Yeah!
They say that even a second is an eternity in Formula One, so going 4 winter months with no racing at all has seemed a very long time indeed. We're back though in Melbourne, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. I'm joined today in the commentary box, as I will be throughout this season, by a great racing driver, former F1 competitor, former world champion, and as he tells me all too often, an all-round top chap. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, first time racing these cars. What are the big questions that need to be answered here, in your view?
Oh, thanks, Crofty. It's a real privilege to be here, and I can't wait to see what's in store for us this season. Now, to answer your question, one of the biggest things is reliability. Formula One cars are full of very sophisticated but also very sensitive technology, and this first Grand Prix of the season is going to push them to the limits. So the most important thing today is to stay out of trouble, get to the end of the race and keep everything in good condition.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Pierre Gasly and Leclerc, Raikkonen, Perez, Sainz and Lucas Faber, O'Connor, Norris, Romain Grosjean and Ricciardo, Butler, Albon, George Russell and Kevin Magnussen. Giovinazzi and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid, and with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
We're in a better grip position than we were expecting. Let's see if we can hold on to it.
Nah, nothing about holding on. We're gonna go for more points, Jeff. We have to get this car into the points for our first race at McLaren. That is the goal. But guys, easy one-stop, mediums to softs. I'm going hyper-aggressive to see where we can place this McLaren at the end of the race. Guys, without further ado, let's get Season 3 started and jam with me on the formation lap. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. ready for the Australian Grand Prix as we head to 5 red lights. And it's go, go, go for Season 3. We are off, and it's a beautiful start from the 2 Mercedes, but also the 2 Red Bulls get away fantastically behind the Ferraris. Heading into the first corner, Hamilton defends from Bottas, but that's a very solid line there from Hamilton. And now Bottas is going to fall in behind him with the Red Bull of Sebastian Vettel in P3. The Ferrari of is that Max Verstappen or Charles Leclerc P4. We are not sure, but I think it might be Max. I think it might be Max in P4. But guys, that was a beautiful start from the 2 Mercedes. I don't think they're going to stay ahead for long because they are not very fast when it comes to performance chart. Jumping back to my POV for my start, guys. Look at this. I don't get the best launch of the line, but that's due to the harder compound of tyre. We have less grip of the line. We give the Haas there of Roman Grosjean a bit of a squeeze heading into the corner, and now we are tucked up right behind. I nearly said underneath. Right behind the racing point of Lucas Weber as we head into this next corner. It's very late onto the brakes for myself as Lucas gets held up by the rest of the pack ahead of him. And now we are right behind Carlos Sainz in the second Haas. Heading to the next point, you guys can see I'm flat through here. We are now into the points. P10, we've made up 1 position from the start, but we're really going to have to push through if we want a good result here at Australia. You guys can see in the straight line, this McLaren just isn't the same as the other cars, so I'm really going to have to push hard. Now for this next point, you guys can see I actually get a really good run there through the right-hander into the left. But now look at the speed, guys. Look at Lucas Weber behind me. There is no comparison between the Racing Point and the McLaren at this stage of the season, the start of the season. Luckily, we defend from Weber heading through the almost flat-out chicane. That is barely a braking zone, guys. That is such an awesome corner when you get it right. With all the cars sparking away here on the streets of Melbourne. Now you guys see we jump back to the lead to see if anything has happened at the front. Doesn't seem like anything has happened, but literally the top 6 are tucked up right behind one another. And this is going to be a fight today here to see who's going to take the highest rewards here in Australia. Now guys, that is the end of lap 1, but we're quickly going to rewind back to my POV once again because I decided to go away too quickly. Come the end of that lap, you guys can see this is Lucas Weber right behind my papaya orange and blue McLaren. And here comes Lucas Weber. He is absolutely hounding that Racing Point. And going into the first corner, guys, there's no point for me in trying to re-overtake him. I'm on the slower tyre, in a slower car. It will just ruin my and Lucas's race. So there's no point in holding him up. I do defend, actually, from Grosjean behind me. But I think I will let Grosjean pass at the end of the lap or the next lap. Because, once again, much faster car. There's no point in holding him up. As guys, Charles Leclerc has got a problem. The Ferrari is going very slowly at the end of lap 2. Oh, Kimi Raikkonen really runs into the back of him. Here comes Raikkonen and Perez. There's Sainz. And there comes myself around Lucas Weber and Grosjean. Wow, there's a lot that happened there. Let's quickly have a quick gander at a few replays. You guys can see, oh, Sergio Perez so nearly runs into the back of Kimi Raikkonen, who so nearly runs into the back of Charles Leclerc. You guys, oh, guys, Sainz hit Leclerc very hard from behind, and I was very opportunistic to go around the outside of them. Actually, not opportunistic, just very bloody lucky. You guys can see, Sainz tries to go for the inside and doesn't realize that Charles is the bottleneck, and he just hits him very, very hard. Let's just take one more. Oh no, this is actually the last POV that we look at. And guys, that is the race of disasters for Carlos Sainz to begin his new campaign at Rich Energy Haas Racing. His race has been ruined. We're probably not going to see anything from Carlos Sainz for the rest of this Grand Prix. The World Championship car is already out of the running for this Australian Grand Prix. This is really, really, really not the start that Haas would have wanted. But some you win, some you lose. So you guys see we head here onto we actually rewind a bit back. This is now Sergio Perez going for a move on Kimi Raikkonen in his Alfa Romeo, who had an absolutely exceptional qualifying, might I add, to get that car so high up in the top 10. Here comes Sergio Perez around the outside, now to the inside for the next left-hander. And Kimi actually goes and keeps his Alfa alongside Sergio. But I think Sergio's going to have the line now as he's on the outside. As you guys see there in the background, it is still myself and Lucas Weber squabbling. Obviously, I passed Lucas after the incident with Charles and Sainz. So now Lucas has to repass me. And that was a little bit of a very aggressive move there from Lucas. So that's why I forced him to stay behind me, because I was not gonna have his aggressiveness rub down on me. I was just gonna race my fair race. And guys, here goes Max Verstappen on Sebastian Vettel, as Vettel has a massive lockup heading into the first corner. That is now my second season championship rival up into P3, and now chasing after the two Mercedes. You guys can see we rewind back to my POV. We're not even done with lap 3, and the action is already popping off here in Australia. So you guys see here, I take the car down on fuel and DRS, and I make Lucas Weber get past me. An easy move there for Lucas. Like I said, guys, no points in holding him up, no points in keeping him behind me. So I put the car back down to none, and here comes Roman Grosjean. No points in fighting with Grosjean. Just give him the position and try and stay with them. Let's try and stay with them so that we can actually steal DRS and slipstream, because this track, if you stay in the at a good a good distance behind the guy in front, the dirty air does not affect you too badly. You guys can see the Red Bull driver of Season 2, Pierre Gasly, is trying to make a move on Sebastian Vettel. Guys, Vettel will obviously be wanting a better season in that Red Bull this time around, but at this stage it is Pierre Gasly who's really giving Vettel a hard time. Gasly on the inside, Vettel on the outside. Vettel does now have the inside, but Gasly gets the run around the outside, and that is Pierre Gasly now up into P4, trying to chase down Max Verstappen and the two Mercedes. Here you guys can see, oh, there's a little bit of more rubbing there between the two Red Bull drivers, but Gasly is adamant to get this move done, and there he's finally ahead of Sebastian Vettel. But now they've got the racing point of Sergio Perez right behind them, with the Alfa Romeo of Kimi Raikkonen right behind him. Guys, you can never count out a back marker car. If it's within a group of fast cars, it can still do some damage. You guys can see, here goes Perez to the outside, but Vettel cuts off his front nose. Perez dives into the inside, through the very fast chicane. Perez goes around the outside as they exit the chicane. That's a beautiful move there from Sergio Perez. Now you guys can see, here comes Lucas Weber. That's very close to Kimi Raikkonen, but he goes up the inside of the Alfa Romeo. And now that is Lucas Weber up another position. As you guys can see, myself and Grosjean are right behind this group. The more this group battle, the better it is for us, because we will get closer to this group. Guys, that is P4, 5, 6, 7, what is that? All the way down to P11. From P4 till P11, all in one train. Beautiful, beautiful racing here to open an epic season. Guys, at the end of the episode, please drop in the comments down below which season opener was best. Season 1, Season 2, or Season 3. Please drop it down in the comments below. I would like to hear your guys' opinion, but only at the end of the video, because obviously you can't make a judgment call already. Unless you feel this is the best season opener, then you can do that. So if you guys haven't watched Season 1, Episode 1, and Season 2, Episode 1, please go watch them so you guys can see those were also two epic season openers with just awesome action. And then you're going to see me back in the black and gold horse. In any case, guys, you guys can see this is now Perez going after the Red Bull of Pierre Gasly. Actually, Lucas Weber overtook Sebastian Vettel also at the end of that sequence where I talked about the previous episodes, guys. And now here goes Sergio Perez around the outside of Pierre Gasly. The two fastest cars on the grid. Actually, the Haas is the second fastest, but two of the fastest cars on the grid. The Red Bull and the Racing Point are battling away. They are just picking up where they left off the end of Season 2. And at this stage, Gasly is keeping those two racing points behind him. But now Vettel is catching back up, along with Kimi Raikkonen, Roman Grosjean, and myself, who in this McLaren is actually doing a phenomenal job to hang on to all these cars, except the Alfa Romeo, which are faster than me. Every single one of these cars are faster than me, guys, except the Alfa Romeo. I think our car is actually faster than the Alfa Romeo, even though we are below Alfa Romeo on the performance chart. I truly feel that the outright pace of the McLaren and race pace is better than the Alphas. But the only time will tell. So you guys see Perez has a look on the inside, and that's a massive lockup from Perez, a double front lockup. And now he's just put himself under pressure from his teammate Lucas Weber. As we head on to the next lap, guys, you guys can see Lucas is hounding Perez, but now Vettel tries to get back at the two racing points as he makes a move on Lucas Weber, which now bottles up everybody behind Lucas. And here you guys can see I finally had enough to sit behind these guys. I go to the inside, have a massive dive up the inside of my former teammate Roman Grosjean, and that is us now back up into the points, into P10. So you guys see it is still Lewis Hamilton leading the way, but Valtteri Bottas is really putting Lewis under pressure now. Bottas v Hamilton heading into the first quarter, guys. Here goes Bottas for the move. It's very tight between the two silver arrows as they head through T2, now barreling down to T3. Will it be Bottas? Will it be Hamilton? Bottas does have DRS, and so he will have the speed and acceleration advantage. Bottas is on the inside, but Hamilton is truly not giving him an inch. And now it's Bottas around the outside. Very, very aggressive from both Mercedes drivers. But finally, Bottas gets the move done, and he is up into the lead. As we quickly rewind back to ourselves, guys. This is now myself going for a move on the car, which I just told you guys I believe is slower than us. Kimi Raikkonen, it's a massive dive. Ooh. that was a little bit, that wasn't over aggressive, but it was indeed aggressive. But guys, I couldn't afford to lose track of the 2 Red Bulls and the 2 racing points. If I could latch onto the back of those guys, I would seal myself a beautiful result here in Australia. As you guys see, Max Verstappen has scored up to the 2 fiercely battling Mercedes, and now it is double Mercedes V. The runner-up for Season 2's championship, Max Verstappen, in the Season 1 winning Ferrari. And there's a little bit of a jump in the replay, guys. I apologize for that. Oh, there's front wing flying there. What happened there? Is it Max Verstappen's front wing? Yes, it is. Lewis has a very aggressive swerve to the outside to try and go around the outside of Bottas. But in the process, only breaks off Max Verstappen's wing. Well, breaks off the left front end plate. And now, even with that, Max just makes the move stick on Lewis to rub a little bit of salt into the wound. But Mercedes being Mercedes, they call in Lewis immediately. And that is now Lewis into the pit lane going for an undercut. Max Verstappen, just like Carlos Sainz's race, has officially been ruined thanks to that front wing that is now broken. Max will have to replace that front wing in the next pit stop. His race might not be ruined, but it's definitely no longer a podium for Mr. Verstappen. Especially not with these 2 hard-charging racing points and Red Bulls. As Weber goes for a move up the inside of Vettel, guys, I just stick behind them as they actually make contact through the corner! As we actually push Vettel through the second corner. And now Vettel is very slow. No DRS for Vettel, but for myself and Weber. Up the inside, I'm late onto the brakes. A very clean and beautiful move as we give Vettel the squeeze on the outside. And that is us now up into P6. Although a few cars that come into the pit lane, guys, that is now, I think, net P8 on track. So we'll see when the race goes further. As finally the race leader, Valtteri Bottas, dives it into the pit lane and releases Max Verstappen. And now the hard-chasing Pierre Gasly into the lead. Valtteri does exactly the same that Lewis did, soft onto hard to run to the end of the Grand Prix. There comes my former teammate Roman Grosjean also diving it into the pit lane, and we jump to the end of the next lap as the race leader, well, the now inherited race lead for Max Verstappen is going to be pushed away, and right behind him is Pierre Gasly. And is that actually Perez or Weber? I'm not sure. That's Perez. Guys, obviously there's no point in looking at Max. He's going to have a wing replacement, and both these drivers will get out ahead of him. So that is already 2 places that Max has lost. There you guys can see the Red Bull of Pierre Gasly is out ahead of Perez, who's out ahead of Verstappen. Coming out of the pit lane, guys, where are the 2 Mercedes? Here come the 2 Silver Arrows barreling down the home straight as Gasly just gets his Red Bull ahead of those 2 Mercs. And that is Gasly now into the lead. Well, the net P1 of the Australian Grand Prix. Here comes Hamilton trying to make a dive on Valtteri, but Valtteri just shuts the door completely in his face. And I actually think Lewis chickened out of that move more than Valtteri just decided against it. As now here you guys see Lewis has a massive lockup heading into the next corner. But now it is time for Racing Point and Haas, the 2 fastest cars on the grid. Now I know that my facts are right. Here goes Perez around the outside of Lewis Hamilton. That's a beautiful move at the very fast chicane. And that is Sergio Perez up another position. Guys, the 2 Mercedes are now going to fall like stones in water because now all the faster cars are catching up to them. As Sebastian Vettel and Lucas Weber are diving it into the pit lane, guys. Here comes Weber. Softs off, mediums on to run to the end. Exactly my strategy, just swapped around. So guys, at this stage, I have now inherited the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. But we still have to make a pit stop. So even though it's beautiful to be in the lead of a Grand Prix again, it's not going to last very long. So it's myself leading the way from Pierre Gasly P2, and that is now actually Lucas Weber in P3, who has jumped his teammate Sergio Perez now in P4, Valtteri Bottas P5, Max Verstappen P6, Lewis Hamilton P7, and P8 is this Sebastian Vettel, P9 my former teammate Roman Grosjean, and then I do not know who was in P10. But in any case, you guys can see heading to the end of lap 17, it is finally the turn of myself to dive it into the pit lane. And now we are going, oh, actually we're not diving it into the pit lane. I just ran through the top 10. Are we going to run through the top 10 again? Yes, we are, guys. Now we're actually going to have a full top 10 as the number 10 car of Pierre Gasly crosses the line in P2 on his fresh mediums. The Racing Points are battling for the final podium position with Lucas Weber leading the way from Perez in P3 and P4. P5 it is Max Verstappen, so his race is not ruined, but it could have been so much better. Sebastian Vettel is in P6. P7 it is actually my former teammate Roman Grosjean. P9 is that Bottas. Wow, guys. Oh, guys, Bottas has got front wing damage. Where did Bottas get front wing damage? As now actually into P9, it is the Williams of George Russell, and that is Bottas down to P10. Oh boy, guys, Lewis also has front wing damage. Look at the second Mercedes of Hamilton, as Ricciardo and my new teammate Devin Butler are battling away. What happened to Mercedes? They started on the front row, and now they are not even one of them are going to get points, guys. Valtteri is already 10th, and I can guarantee you guys, my teammate and Ricciardo will catch them very, very quickly. So it has been an absolutely horrific opener to the season for Mercedes, as well as for Haas actually, because Grosjean is battling for bottom top 10 points, and Carlos Sainz is not even within the points. So it's really being going to be a very hard pill to swallow for Racing Point, for Haas and for Mercedes. But here you guys can see there goes Sebastian Vettel actually. Here I come out of the pit lane ahead of my former teammate Roman Grosjean. But guys, now even though I'm in a back marker car, there's nothing that Roman's going to be able to do about me because he's on the hards. I am on brand spanking new softs. Let's try that again because that did not work out. Brand spanking new softs. Yeah, that one worked. As the number one still looks gorgeous on this fire orange and blue McLaren. Guys, heading on to about 5 laps later, I have finally caught up to the rear end of Sebastian Vettel. And guys, this is what I mean when I said in qualifying, I've got oozing confidence in this McLaren because I could push to catch the third quickest car according to paper on the grid and make a move around the outside, which promotes us up into P5. Guys, we should have been battling for P15 to P20. We are actually going to equal our Season 2 World Championship season's result. So, in the second season when we said we were going to fight for the World Championship, we came 5th at Australia last season. We are going to equal that in a car that is tremendously worse. Even though I like the car more and it drives so much better than the Haas ever did, it's just... Oh boy, guys, this is going to be a real salt rub into the wound of Ferrari, who first of all, as you guys heard in the beginning of the episode, refused to sign me with a proper contract, as well as to Haas, because I have just gone to a worse team and I am beating them both. Obviously, Sainz is not controllable because he had a little bit of an accident in the beginning of the Grand Prix, but still, we are going to end ahead of one of the Ferraris who DNF'd. We are now busy chasing down Max Verstappen in a car that is worlds apart, and we are going to finish ahead of both Haas cars. This is absolutely amazing. I know I repeated myself probably 22 times in that one sentence, but you know what? It's okay. You guys see here now, this is actually, I think it's actually Perez now in P2 with Weber in P3. There you guys can see Max Verstappen is in P4 now, so still fighting very good. And here it is myself, guys. Guys, I think this was actually the final lap now that I think about it. No, we are starting the final lap now. So guys, Max Verstappen is too far ahead. We will not be able to catch him. But guys, look at the gap that I've pulled on Vettel and Grosjean. It is absolutely nuts. Grosjean is in P7, P8, a brilliant drive from George Russell in the Williams. P9, it is my teammate Devin Butler and Daniel Ricciardo battling for the final 2 points positions. But at this stage, Ricciardo is getting the better of my teammate. But guys, that's even better for McLaren. A double points finish, and we are, by all means, the second worst car on the grid. We are just better than Toro Rosso. We are literally the second worst. This is an epic start to the season as we're jumping back towards the leader, guys. This is actually Lucas Weber leading the way. As you guys saw them within the battling, himself and Sergio Perez overtook Pierre Gasly. And guys, Lucas Weber, this might be Lucas Weber's season, guys. This is going to be Racing Point season, but Lucas Weber rounds the final corner to come onto the home straight for the final time to take the win here in Australia for Racing Point. It's a beautiful double podium with Sergio Perez in P2 and Pierre Gasly for Red Bull in P3. Max Verstappen will get a solid P4. I'm sure he would have wanted more, but guys, this was a true World Championship class of drive as we are going to take P5 for our first race at McLaren.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
A victory for Racing Point, and the team will certainly be celebrating tonight. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I think the key here was just the quality of the racecraft, you know? I mean, how many overtakes did they make overall? I'm sure we have a stat person keeping score somewhere, and it was fantastic to watch, wasn't it? This is a strategic sport at the end of the day, but it's always really gratifying to see close-fought battles on track. It's what all the fans are after.
Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Lucas Weber takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
Well, there's no question in my mind, it has to go to George Russell. What a performance. He's got every right to be proud of what he accomplished out there today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Racing Points move up to the top of the standings. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Guys, we couldn't have asked for a better way to open Season 3. What a drive. Truly a drive of a world champion. You guys cannot deny that. Oh, guys, if I haven't earned your like by now, I do not know what will. Please go down below, hit the like. It's only going to take you 2 seconds. And guys, you have no idea how much I appreciate it. But damn, what an Australian Grand Prix. I can't wait for Bahrain. I honestly can't.
Great work. That's exactly the kind of result I'm looking for. Keep it up.
Thank you, Emma. We are definitely going to keep it up. Guys, I've already talked about the like. Please drop a like on the video down below. Guys, if you've really liked what you've seen today, and I think this episode deserves it, please share this video like crazy on your social medias. Tag me when you share the video and I will give you a shout out in a future video. That's always a nice feeling to get a shout out. Guys, 10 subscribers away from 100. So please, if you're new to the channel and you have not done it yet, please hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding that bell to never miss a future episode. And guys, with a season that opened like this, Bahrain is just gonna be an absolute epic race where we won our first Grand Prix. Let's see what happens next time in Bahrain. Cheers!
Can you